¿Qué tal, amigos? Welcome. You are watching LatiNation Football Club. I am your host, Marcelino Ortiz, and today we have a banger of a show. That's right. This week, we've been watching the top games of all these competitions and leagues that are happening right now. The summer is hot with quality football, Euros, Copa América Femenina, El Clásico de la MLS, All-Stars from the MLS against Liga MX, and upcoming Leagues Cup, this new tournament that is trying to find the regional dominant team in the North Americas. But we have to start at the beginning with the Euros. This tournament has been taking the world by storm and showing that the women's game has a level that has nothing to envy the men's side. And that's why I'm here with Camila Ortiz and Alex Crespo, and we're gonna break it all down. Camila, I know you've been watching a lot. I know that you've been a big fan of the Lionesses in this tournament. We know that the final is upon us, but let's talk about the semifinals. Talk to me about that game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this has been such an exciting tournament in the women's game. We just saw the quarterfinals. We saw England, the Lionesses, like you said, face Sweden. This was a very exciting match. England, the Lionesses, just got the win off of PKs. And this is a repetitive cycle we're seeing with the Lionesses. I was very excited for this team, but I have been a little disappointed, to be honest, by their performance. We saw their match versus Italy, again, winning by scoring a goal in the 96th and the 112th minute. So they're kind of waiting to the end. You could ask, is this, again, they know when to strike, or are they falling a bit behind, is my question.
Yeah, without a doubt, one of the big issues that this team has been showing is that they have opportunities to put these games away, and they have allowed what you consider lesser competition to, take space on them, but somehow they've been winning every single game that has gone beyond regulation in history with this coach. No elimination game that has gone to extra time has been lost by the Lionesses. Another big game, Alex, España. What a team, my favorite team of the competition. They are in the final, but before that, they had a great game that was hard against Germany.
I mean, that's right. I mean, we saw an amazing game. Germany versus España. These teams are never letting us down. I mean, we saw some world-class football from both sides. It was a very even match, 0-0 for the full time. And then they go into overtime. And Bonmati, who else but the Ballon d'Or winner, to score the goal after being in the hospital just a few weeks ago with meningitis and coming back and showing that she is still world class.
Without a doubt, that's why Spain is one of my favorite teams to win this competition. For many, is their competition to lose. The final is upon us this Sunday. Camila, what is your prediction? Do you feel like La Madre Patria is going to take this tournament, or the Lionesses will continue their reign? Because this is a team that has become a usual winner of the tournament, whereas Spain, they're still trying to win their first one.
This is going to be a difficult match. I don't know if I have a clear winner, but if I had to choose, I would put my money on Spain just because they are playing so well. We saw in that game versus Germany, the attack was relentless by Spain. But again, I don't think this is going to be an easy match by any means.
No, without a doubt, they will fight till the end. But I do believe that this mistake that England has been able to paper over through the last games will be very difficult to control, because Spain has so much depth, especially in the top third, that it's scary to think that they will not take the opportunity that Britain has been doing. But on the other side, Alex, on that game that we saw with Germany losing to Spain, I want to talk for a moment about the goalkeeping level in the whole tournament. It has been off the charts. Berger was a standout in that game. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to put the team forward. Another case was the Sweden goalkeeper establishing a record, 4 stops on a penalty shootout, and she wasn't able also to score her penalty to make it to the next round. But Camila, what do you think about the level overall and the perception around the world of the level of the women's girl after this tournament?
I mean, I think the level has been remarkable. We are seeing, I want to focus again, like you said, on the goalkeepers, the defenders. We have seen top-notch defending this, tournament. We haven't seen a lot of high volume of goals because the defenders are playing so strongly.
Yeah, and Alex, you were talking about Bonmati, one of the players that have a history of not only excellence but also grit, and showing that these women, sometimes they are, in my opinion, fiercer than the guys. The guys tend to be a little bit soft. We'll talk about some of it in the next segment with the Leagues Cup and MLS All-Star Game missing players. But what is your take on the level of commitment that the women have shown throughout the tournament?
I mean, just with this Bonmati thing, we are seeing that she was in the hospital and going right back to the pitch. I mean, this means that just because you're in the hospital doesn't mean anything. I mean, they're going back into the game as if nothing happened, and then not just that, but outperforming everyone on the field. This is world-class football, and I think that it's very important that they're showing that just because they're women doesn't mean jack leap. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of these things that they're showing that just because there's been this stigma in the past of the men's versus women's team, I mean, they're just showing their level of class, and we see that every game.
And the public has been supporting the tournament because we've seen an amazing amount of people in the stands. These games have been played with almost full capacity. So I hope this is an example for many countries around the world to support the game because the quality is there. The games, both in Euros, but also as we will be talking in the show later on, the Copa America Femenina, the level of goals that we've seen, amazing finishing quality. So be tuning in this Sunday, the big final, la gran final, España versus England. The Lionesses trying to continue to be the force that wins this tournament often. Now, it's time to move on. We are going to be talking about a situation that has me really upset. Estoy encabritado, you could say, because once again, LAFC blunders, drops the ball, and allows Galaxy to take points away from us in the Bank of California. And again, we tie 3-3. Alex Crespo, you were there. You were in the stadium. How was the environment? How did you live this game?
I mean, that game was incredible. I mean, we saw so many goals. I mean, 3-3, you can't ask for anything more. I mean, this was one of these ties where I really left the stadium just not being upset at all because Galaxy showed until the end that they're there. I mean, they were not at home, but, you know, that didn't make a difference. I mean, this game started with 2 goals from LAFC, and then a handball gave it up for a penalty to Galaxy, and that completely just flipped the switch. I think Boanga's sub out was really a key factor in this game to switch it up because, I mean, until the very last second of this match, it was just back and forth, and Galaxy just came up with the tie, but, you know, very upsetting for LAFC.
Very upsetting indeed. I want to talk to Camila about a situation that has been plaguing this team. It has been a burden to the LAFC. Every important game, every game of consequence, it seems like Cherundolo is still hell-bent on managing the game at the 75th minute, taking out Boanga, taking out Marky Delgado. That has been an amazing work of locking down its former team, and then bringing players that are a little bit of out of rhythm in the, you know, the intensity of El Clásico, and we see the whole work undo in a few minutes. Camila, what's happening, and do you think that Cherundolo should just leave or finish the season?
I mean, I think he should just leave. I think after this performance, I really was trying to wrap my head around these subs, but I cannot understand putting subs in such, you know, the end of such a critical game. You have to allow some leeway, some time, you know, 5-10 minutes for these subs to get accustomed to the game. And you cannot afford 5-10 minutes in the 70th, 80th minute. And it showed because when Cherundolo took out Boanga, we just saw the team collapse, sort of. I mean, they came from this offensive attitude and completely just took a back seat into defending. And when you do that in such an important match, you get scored on, like we saw.
Like we saw the captain of Galaxy, the center back Yoshida, in the last minute came in with a header, precise service, and a will to score. Galaxy trying to salvage something out of this season after going you know, from champions to complete paupers of the league, the last place. You see, estoy enojado, I'm upset because LAFC continues to drop points, continues to drop opportunities to show that they are the elite of MLS. But that is the case. We got to go on a break. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to be talking about the MLS All-Star Challenge, the game, and also Leagues Cup, this tournament that is going to take over your headlines in the next week, and Copa America Femenina right here in LatiNation Football Club.
Shamar Stewart is having troubles before he even plays a snap. And he's seeing what's happened to the stars of this football team, by the way, right? The Higgins stuff wasn't super smooth. The Hendrickson stuff's not smooth.
But why pay him that big number where you've got Trey Henderson, who's an absolute superstar at edge? You always build a defense. Why haven't the Bengals been back to the Super Bowl in the last 4 years? It's real simple.
Game time decisions only on SportsGrid.
Y'all know where I'm going. And yeah, you can call it Knick bias all you want. I'm taking the Knicks to come out of the East. I look at this New York team and think that Mike Brown is an upgrade over Tom Thibodeau. You may disagree. I don't care. I look at the fact of getting Yabusele and Clarkson off the bench is going to make the Knicks more dangerous.
Betting above the rim only on SportsGrid.
Your approach with Marion Hampton is if you're going to draft him aggressively and early, you better be patient because it might take half a season before he really takes over this backfield, and it might never happen this year, depending on how Harris performs. Gadsden and Disley so far not fantasy relevant at this time. Again, a more run-heavy offense. Hampton and Najee Harris, very intriguing, but the ADP, I think, on both of them is slightly off.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Futbol, another incredible performance. I mean, almost going 7-8 innings again, striking out a ton. I mean, I kind of felt like the Tigers really wanted that win.
There's a bit of narrative to it that people like to buy into, or, kind of, I don't want to say push a narrative, but the fact that he's doing what he did last year, but better, and is now in a spot to repeat, like, there's something to be said.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
¿Qué tal, amigos? We are back here in LatiNation Football Club. I am with Alex Crespo and Camila Ortiz, and we are ready to break down lo que pasó en el MLS All-Star Week. We had a skill challenge. We had an amazing game that pitted the most popular players from MLS versus the top players from Liga MX. And Camila, please tell me, what was your favorite part of this event that, is the party for the season of MLS?
Yes, this was a super exciting match. I personally love All-Star games. I think, we saw MLS take the W 3-1. Seems like an easy win for the MLS. They had control of the game. But for me, the highlight of my match was Gilberto Mora, the 16-year-old. We are talking about him.
He's also a winner of the Copa de Oro with the Mexico team.
Yeah, exactly. He is such an outstanding player. Again, he was able to put the ball in the back of the net for Liga MX and win the volley challenge. So he's a very impressive player, and I can't wait to see what else he accomplishes.
The future of Mexican football right there. But on the other side, Alex, I know that you have strong opinions of the lineup of MLS. Talk to me.
I mean, I think we have to talk about the obvious. We're missing a big player in this game, Lionel Messi, one of the best in the world. Not one of the best, the best in the world. Sorry for my wording, but I mean, this player, he said no, he didn't want to go. I mean, and we're used to seeing these players, when they say no to the All-Star game, it comes with repercussions. I mean, we might see a fine, we might see a suspension. I think we're leaning more towards the suspension, if I'm not wrong. And this is going to be a hard take on Miami for the next game over the weekend. But, I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe it's gone to his head. Maybe he's just not feeling it. It's one of these things that we just don't know the behind the scenes.
Yeah. Normally, I'm super critical of Lionel Messi as he participates in the MLS because the standard he needs to be held upon, it is very high because he's supposed to transform the league. Now, he has been playing in a crazy amount of games, Club World Cup, and he's been playing 90 minutes in the last 5 MLS games for Miami, and they have a very important game against Cincinnati. Now, the rules of the league say that if you miss the MLS game after being voted in by the public, you need to sit out the next game. So he wouldn't be eligible to align for Miami against Cincinnati, the most important game of the season for them. Now, the president of his employer Beckham is that when Beckham was part of the All-Star Game, it was in 2012 when the London Olympics happened. Beckham flew from Los Angeles to London at the beginning of the week to the rehearsal of the opening of the Olympics, then flew back to play the All-Star Game, and then flew back to London to be on the opening of the Olympics. That is commitment and a player that understands the impact of the All-Star Game in the psyche of the American public. This is a tradition that makes new audiences for the game, and I think it was important for these players to be. But the other side of it is the amount of games that they have, and if we want to see Messi continue to do well for the league, maybe he needs to be managed, but the league must follow their laws. They cannot make exceptions, dilly-dally, just because he is Lionel Messi. Let's talk about something more exciting, more uplifting, and that is the upcoming tournament that we have, Leagues Cup. More soccer for these players, more games for these players, but here we have it, a special tournament looking for regional dominance. The best team from MLS or Liga MX, they will be facing each other. Alex, talk to me about this tournament a little bit.
I mean, if you thought the tournament season was over with Club World Cup, you were wrong, because now we're heading into Leagues Cup. We're going to be seeing which league is the best in La Americas. We're going to be seeing MLS versus Liga MX. Now, this is going to be a battle of La Americas. We're going to see which league is the real powerhouse.
We have 36 teams participating in this tournament. We have 18 from Liga MX and another 18 who qualified for the MLS playoffs. Again, it is only the teams that qualified for the playoffs in 2024.
The cream of the crop of MLS against toda la Liga MX, así como dice el Chiva, la gloriosa Liga MX. One of the things that I really like about this tournament is the fact that there will only be MLS versus Liga MX games in the group stage. Every team will play 3 opponents from the opposite league. And now this is the most confusing, but might be also the most exciting part of the tournament. The standings are divided by leagues. So MLS will compete against MLS teams. Liga MX competes against Liga MX teams. What does this mean? This means that we are looking for the best team at defeating the other league. Too much or exciting? What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, the more football, the better for me. I'm excited, but I'm a bit confused about all these rules, the top 3, no draws. I think is it a little too American? I don't know. I'm confused why we're changing things up.
A lot of different things. One of the big things, these games have no losers. If you tie by the end of regulation, you go to penalties, and each team gets awarded 1 point by the draw, and the winner of the penalty shootout gets another point. So only 2 points for winning that game on the penalties. You get 3 points for winning a game in regulation. Now, the top 4 teams of each side will go into the bracket of the playoffs. Alex, talk to me about the playoff format and what these teams are fighting for.
I mean, this playoff format is going to be looking a little different. We're going to be seeing the top 4 from MLS versus the top 4 of Liga MX. And now in these quarterfinals, it's going to be mixed up a little bit with 1 of each on each side. And these teams are going to be fighting for a big prize. I mean, not only are they fighting for a $2 million prize, but they're also fighting for an automatic bypass to the round of 16 of the CONCACAF Champions Cup.
And that's no small change, because as we saw, the winner of the CONCACAF Champions goes to play the Club World Cup, this tournament that we just saw that was a total success, especially that will become even more popular among the team, because if you can make $140 million in one tournament during 1 month, you will fight to qualify for that tournament, because even if you just made it to the group stage, you probably walk away with $20 million out of the whole adventure. So Camila, we can expect high voltage games, we can expect some partidos moleros, but what do you see as the teams that might have an opportunity to win it from the MLS side?
I mean, first off, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that LAFC is one of those teams. I'm hoping and I expect that they're able to bounce back from this tie from LA Galaxy. You have teams like Inter Miami, San Diego, who took Vancouver's spot in this tournament. So I think those are some 3 teams that can be competitors.
Without a doubt. Alex, do you have any Liga MX favorites to upset the balance?
Honestly, after seeing them in the Club World Cup, I am going for Monterrey. I mean, this team really showed their defensive power in this tournament, and I just am a Sergio Ramos fan. I love him. He plays so good, and just showing that his age is nothing to be worried about, and I'm excited to see how they do in this tournament.
That's right, Alex. And with that, we go on a break here in LatiNation Football Club. I am your host, Marcelino Ortiz, and we'll be right back.
It was rich that you're talking about the fact that you don't know what the point of going out there and playing golf and winning golf tournaments when you've got guys who are pining, living in their cars, trying to make a cut, playing the DP tour, desperate just to be in an event, let alone have the ability to talk about winning an event and being like, I don't know why I'm doing this. Fulfill me. I'm not fulfilled as a golfer.
In-game live only on SportsGrid.
Y'all know where I'm going. And yeah, you can call it Nick bias all you want. I'm taking the Knicks to come out of the East. I look at this New York team and think that Mike Brown is an upgrade over Tom Thibodeau. You may disagree. I don't care. I look at the fact of getting Yabusele and Clarkson off the bench is going to make the Knicks more dangerous.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
So Ramondu's already lost a ton of weight. That's great. He needs to stop fumbling the football. Trayvon Henderson, I think, is that playmaker you need. Then you got Stephon Diggs, Kyle Williams. We kind of talked about those guys. Those are the two investable wide receivers. Hunter Henry, I think in a deeper league, is probably your tight end 13 or 14. He's right on the fringe. But I think a good situation here for the New England Patriots.
Fantasy sports today. Only on SportsGrid.
This is interesting. Minus 116s, minus 120s in the marketplace. We're seeing now minus 140s across the board and 6.5s on the total.
He's not a big strikeout pitcher. His metrics look terrible, but he somehow seemingly get 5 innings, 6 innings, only 1 earned run. It's because he's a super ground ball pitcher, induces that soft and medium contact. He can essentially sap the power away from the Dodgers.
Pro baseball today. Only on SportsGrid.
Amigos, we are back here in LatiNation Football Club, and I'm your host, Marcelino Ortiz, and I'm excited because nos queda muchísimo fútbol, and it is time to talk about Copa América Femenina, the premier continental tournament that is happening right now in South America. And let me tell you, the level of this competition is surprisingly high, and that's why I am here with my trusted collaborators, Camila Ortiz, an expert in women's soccer, and Alex Crespo, our in-house professional South American sleuth. He knows it all, and that's why we're going to help you understand why this tournament is so important. And to begin with, it's because the players and the teams that make it to the top 5, they qualify to important competition. The finalists, number 1 and number 2, tickets to the Olympics. That's right, the Olympics here in Los Angeles in 2028. This is a qualifying tournament for that. And number 3, 4, and 5, Pan American Games. These are important tournaments for the development of these selections, for these national teams, and that's why they are fighting with everything they got. Camila, tell me, please, what are the highlight games that you've been watching? Where have you seen the highest level of soccer, and what can we expect moving forward?
I mean, yeah, I have watched so many soccer games. This has been such an exciting tournament. I think for my top 2 has to be Venezuela versus Colombia. It was a 0-0 match. This was not expected from the Venezuelan national team. They played exceptionally well. Again, Chile versus Argentina, a 2-1 win for Argentina. But Alex, I know you're a Chile fan, so what did you think about that?
I mean, right now my heart is happy with these two teams. They've been performing super good. Top of the table as of right now, Chile and Argentina always, showing up. Chile's women's team is doing way better than the men's team currently in the Copa America, and I could definitely see them advancing in this tournament. Argentina, as usual, first place, nothing new right there, but these teams have been, not letting us down so far.
It has been a lot of excitement in the pitch, but not everything has been a good experience in this tournament. Unfortunately, there has been reports straight from Marta, the probably most famous player in the world in the women's side, denouncing the conditions where these teams have been forced to warm up. These teams have been forced to share indoor spaces to to warm up. They do not have access to the pitch for their warm up. This hinders their ability to do, the minimum calisthenics and preparatory work for avoiding injuries. And they are rightfully upset not to be given the same opportunities, resources, and access than the men's. We're talking about Copa America, a 100-year-old tournament that should offer the same level of comfort and experience to the women's side. So, Camila, what needs to change and what are the players saying around this?
I mean, yeah, a lot needs to change. Almost everything needs to change. There is a lot of complaints coming from these players, and it makes sense. I mean, you're only able to warm up indoors, and now after complaints, they're able to warm up only 15 minutes. This is not something you're seeing happening in the Euros. And when, these both tournaments are happening at the same time, it is impossible not to compare, Another thing, stadiums are empty. They only started selling tickets for Copa America 8 days before the tournament. So I can make sense and I can relate to why these South American players are complaining, especially compared to their own teammates. You have players coming from the NWSL used to the same conditions, and now they're going to 2 different tournaments that should be equally important and getting completely different treatment.
And before we go, my friends, we have to go into prediction mode. That's right, we're going to help you at home. Para que sepas dónde poner tu dinerito, play this game in a little more exciting way. That's right, the biggest game this weekend, the Euro final. That's right, Spain versus England. Camila, what's your prediction?
Such an exciting match. Prediction's my favorite. If I were you, I'd put my money on Spain. I think they have been a well-oiled attacking machine, and I see them putting some goals away.
I'm keeping it short and sweet. 3-1, España wins it all.
Unanimous opinion here in LatiNation Football Club is Spain for the win. Myself, I recommend you to go on the over for goals. There's going to be a lot of goals in this game. Both teams to score and Spain to take the game home in regulation, my friend. That's right, 3 or more goals on this game. Any other games that you guys feel like we have to predict?
Before we leave, I want to know, what do you guys think about the Colombia-Brazil game happening in this Copa America tournaments?
Clásico Sudamericano.
Yep.
Brazil, Colombia, 2 very good teams usually. I mean, I think it's going to be Brazil 2-1.
Brazil 2-1.
Marta scoring?
I don't know. She hasn't put a goal away yet this tournament, and I'm not going to put Colombia behind. I think they have been playing really well, undefeated, both teams undefeated. I'm going to go with the tie.
Oh, that's the case. Well, myself, I recommend going for Brazil. I think that Marta is going to score, both teams are going to score, and I will go with the over on goals because they are going to go out to show who is the top team in the group stage. That's right. So there you have it, predictions for this weekend. And with that, we say goodbye here in LatiNation Football Club, and we want to thank you, the MVP of our team, for choosing to spend this time with the Familia LatiNation Football Club. We'll be here waiting for you next week, and I'm your host, Marcelino Ortiz.
My mind, I was able to think and process. And if I let him get back up, he's going to get back up. I was like, let me finish this right now. And I caught him with that left hook, and then I caught him again with that right hook just to make sure the job was done, because I was calculating his hands wasn't touching the ground and his knees weren't touching the ground, but I know he was still going down. To make sure he wasn't getting back up, I had to let those last 2 off, man.
Combat Sports Report. Only on SportsGrid.
He's just only 2,300 points behind. So even if he does win at Memphis, he's still going to be behind Scottie Scheffler in the points by 300. So why? I mean, I want Scottie Scheffler to show up in Memphis, but does he need to? If Rory's not showing up and the 3rd place guy, even if he wins, isn't going to pass him?
The Smiley Show. Only on SportsGrid.
What do you make of the season that Barkley had last year as he piled on the yards to get over 2,000, and what can that look like this year?
His year could have been much better with different circumstances here. So he was great. I assume he'll be great again. You want to take Jahmyr Gibbs? I don't have an issue with it, but, Barkley, you're going to lose the tush push.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Big Fish is the best player in the WNBA. She is running away with the MVP award, Why is that? Caitlin Clark, injured. Asia Wilson, not playing at Asia Wilson level, but it's more about the fact about what's around her has been an issue. So to me, Fish is almost like the MVP because everyone else has gone down in some way, shape, or form.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.